Hey, how you doing? Yeah, back here again. Um, Not really quite sure what to say. Well, yeah, back here on YouTube again. Um, I guess I know, like on my channel a lot. I been doing a lot of covers a lot. It almost seems like it's maybe that's all I should do from now on. Just do covers. I know I try to do like more like current things that come out and trying to mix it up with different genres. Sometimes I don't really quite know what I'm doing, but I don't care. I like doing it. Just it's interesting. It's sort of fun trying to figure things out, trying to be creative with it. Um, and I guess yeah, I mean, you do current artists, and chances are maybe that'll because maybe that's sort of like trending and stuff. So maybe people are kind of looking around for that, and maybe they you get some traffic and stuff. And I mean, I guess I could do originals, but nobody knows me and stuff, so I don't know. I probably, I mean, yeah, I guess I probably will do some originals, but just because, why not? Because, you want to be artistic today and you want to like have some expression. Um, I mean, I guess I have my thoughts about the entertainment field, and I mean, I guess to some extent the messaging is controlled. So, if you really want to get your art out, I don't know how much you can do that. But anyway, it is what it is. You just have the channel, and I'll just keep figuring it out as I go along. Um, anyway, so what else? Yeah, of course, I guess everybody probably thinks about the virus, coronavirus and stuff. So that's it's pretty bad. It's not it's like bad news. It's not. I mean, there's like a lot. So many things have changed, so many things that I'm used to in my life, and I guess many people are, just kind of like gotta adjust to not having those things, especially like, well, I mean, I know like American, United States has the most cases, so it's yeah, it's it's pretty bad, but actually I was thinking I was kind of sometimes I'm kind of wondering like really what's going on, what's happening to America, what's going, we're, we can't get a hold on this thing, we can't, I guess, is it the government or is it the people, they don't know how to manage themselves? I don't, I guess maybe a combination of both things, but, actually I've kind of noticed that, more recently it's been like, Brazil, Russia, India have kind of like they've gone up, like in the beginning it was United States and like a lot of European countries that had a lot of cases, but now that's yeah, now it's sort of like these other countries that have gone up, and I was actually thinking that like Brazil, Russia, India, there's this thing called BRIC, so there are these countries called the BRIC nations. So it's Brazil, Russia, India, China. Sometimes I think they call it BRICS, so then it would include South Africa. So I guess these countries, I guess they're thought of as almost, some, when you think about third world, but maybe not really quite third world because they're kind of like developing. So they're kind of like moving up and becoming like more advanced and stuff. But they're still quite not there. It's like I guess there's certain manufacturing and stuff in different industries that is supposed to, build up their economies and stuff. But yeah, those countries are up there with these cases. But then I'm thinking, is there some way that the United States is kind of becoming associated with these BRICS countries? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's yeah, it is. Yeah, we have a lot of it's a problem. The world's got a problem, especially the United States. We got a big problem, man. I don't know really quite what's going on. Um, and I was actually thinking about actually something came to, somebody sent me this something was being sent along around on the internet, and I came across this thing. It was about the CARES Act. So the CARES Act was supposed to be response to the coronavirus. It was this law that was passed back in March. So I guess it was some kind of a package to sort of help people out, economically and stuff. So basically what it means, CARES, the acronym, Coronavirus Aid, Relief, Economic Security. That was kind of like what the acronym stood for. So I guess it was, I know a lot of corporations got a lot of money out of it and stuff, and maybe some small businesses, and of course, I guess, regular individuals got a check for like $1,200. But anyway, this thing was passed, and interestingly, you could look it up on congress.gov. You could look up the law, and you'll actually see that it actually went through several stages of development. It didn't just happen, right away. It usually, most laws don't, like it takes a couple of stages to do it. But the thing was actually first introduced in January of 2019, not January 2020, January 2019. So like a year before the coronavirus. So of course you'd say, what does that mean? I don't, did they know about it? I don't know. Well, actually, I was curious about this, and the question was put out there, and actually, it turned out that I did see some explanation, and they basically said that the law was actually it was some other law. It was like some kind of healthcare law that they originally passed or they introduced in 2019, but I guess eventually the coronavirus came around, and I guess they decided to make it. They tried to set it to deal with the coronavirus. So that was the explanation that I had. But I don't know. I just kind of thought it was kind of interesting. Anyway, with this coronavirus, I don't. I know that there are the people out there that don't believe it. There are people that say it's a hoax. They say something from the deep state or whatever. And of course, the basic idea of like what's presented from mainstream media is that it's there. That whatever the case may be, it's really not good. The idea that if it were a hoax and that everybody's being fooled by this, that's really not good. Or if the statistics as they are, that's really not that good either. So I don't know. I don't really know what else to say, but hopefully at some point things start to get better. I'm not sure what that'll take, but I'm hoping it gets better. And what else? Well, yeah, I guess there was the whole big explosion. It was the George Floyd killing, murder, whatever. It was a horrendous thing that happened, and I guess it was sort of like the last straw, and things kind of exploded, just went crazy, and I guess like now the whole world kind of has an understanding of the plight of the African Americans, and it's been a terrible history. There's no excuse for it. It's something that should have been dealt with, but I don't know. I guess maybe it's just there's institutional racism and stuff that just goes on, and you got some people that are just whatever, this cop, whatever. I don't know what the hell happened with this guy that he did this. And look, in this case was really kind of like the one that set everything off, but it's just there's lots and lots of other terrible things that have happened to black people in the United States, there's this thing, there's the racism, it's terrible. But what I've been thinking though is that that people do have these prejudices, these biases, these bad thoughts in their minds about people who are different. It's just something that's there, but then you go to the extent of murder. I don't know. And actually, honestly, I would actually, my thought would be that actually, I think I have a lot more faith in people. I know people might have these kinds of thoughts, these stereotypes or biases or negativities about people based on differences, but I think despite all that, I think most people actually are more good and kind. That they would actually. That you would be more inclined to want to help somebody, even if they were different. You just say it's another human being. So I would rather have like some positive relationship with other fellow human beings, even if they are different. I think we have the understanding now that this, we have this global community now. So surely people know about other kinds of human beings on the earth. So I don't know. I just think that's that I just have more hope for people. And I was thinking about the Occupy movement. So that was sort of like the 99%. You know, and it was like based on economics. It was rising up against the 1%. So then that basically just went across, people of all backgrounds. It didn't, had nothing to do with race. It just, so it should be this 1% of these, you know, people or forces or whatever that have the control, and then the 99% they were trying to try to rise up and try to create a better distribution, more equality for people. And economics is basically that's the way of the world. I mean, basically you need money to basically pay for the goods and services to survive on the earth. And then I started thinking about the Poor People's Campaign from 1968. Martin Luther King had organized this thing, and and unfortunately, he died. He organized the thing, and then he died right before it happened. So I mean, I know Martin Luther King. Mainly his main association is civil rights and stuff. But I think that ultimately his goal was to basically help all people. So it was just he wanted to help all Americans. So this Poor People's Campaign was organized, and then and maybe the powers didn't really like that idea. But anyway, actually I did notice that when I was thinking about this, I did see that there was recently some kind of, I mean, and maybe this organization has been around, but there's a website for Poor People's Campaign, and I think they had an event some time, maybe about 2 weeks ago or something. So it was kind of like, I guess there were some demonstrations out in the streets and stuff, but it was mostly like an online thing. And I guess probably because of like the situation with the coronavirus and stuff. But I didn't even really know about it. I mean, I think it was like broadcast on some media or something. And yeah, you could find it on the website and stuff. But I think that there were some good ideas there. And I think maybe something could maybe come out of that. So I don't know. Anyway, and I've been thinking, we've got these, soon you got presidential elections. I mean, I don't know who could even think about that. I mean, you're so distracted by all this other stuff, but I mean, I guess the presidential elections count for something. It's like the president, it's some leadership there in that office. So you got, well, what do you got? The choices. You got Trump, Biden. Trump and Biden. I don't, I'm not particularly excited about the choices. If anybody wants to convince me otherwise, feel free. Please let me know. Tell me, which one, is better candidate's going to make a better situation for the American people. But actually, I was thinking probably like right now, it probably would be nice if somebody would kind of emerge, like some kind of third party. Maybe something out of that Poor People's Campaign. Maybe they could have endorsed somebody or promoted someone that probably would have been a good idea, But I would think that if somebody were to come forward, I would think that it would be probably somebody famous, somebody with some kind of celebrity status. I mean, I guess I know it's kind of superficial, but I think that actually that's kind of like the way what people respond to. I mean, it was just somebody who just with good heart, good intentions, good integrity and stuff. But it wasn't known. It probably wouldn't. It really wouldn't pan out very well. I mean, the major political institutions are going to promote their major candidates. So, third party. It would have to be somebody of some status, somebody who's known to the public. But and of course, like they would have to have like. Ideas of policies that benefit the people as a whole, trying to help the American people. I mean, that's what's the government for anyway, right? It's supposed to help the people. But yeah, so anyway, that's some thoughts that I've had. And, I know I always think about this kind of, this kind of duality or dichotomy that I've talked about. I guess, you got, and I sometimes because I believe that I would like to see more unity, but I believe that the powers that are creating these divisions, so it's kind of like divide and conquer. So yeah, I guess I kind of see, you got you kind of got these like this one side of like these kind of like woke people, and then I guess on the other side, I guess you kind of have like the patriots. That's kind of how I tried to sum it all up to see like how this division is broken down. And I guess maybe some people might see it as Democrats, Republicans, or MSNBC, Fox News, but I think there's a larger, I guess maybe like older generation people, maybe they watch cable news and stuff, but younger people, I don't know if they're really quite following that. I guess they're more like looking at other types of media, maybe social media, maybe YouTube. Maybe YouTube is a big form of media stuff, but anyway, that's kind of how I see the breakdown. But I hope that there would be some kind of unity to try to bring the people together and fight for a common cause. And hopefully we can get through this crisis that we're in. I guess we'll sort of see what happens. But anyway, I guess I've said a few things. So. So I guess I'm going to stop now, and I'll talk to you another time.